It is the month of August 2025, and I can't think of a better time for us to have a conversation about Christmas and the holidays, at least in the jewelry business, because this is the perfect time of year to make sure that you're prepping your business and specifically your jewelry inventory so that you have the prime merchandise for the best selling season of the year. I want to give you a strategy today that we've employed in our clients and in our stores to help us prepare our merchandise as best as possible and hedge the safest bets as possible with as little money put out on the table as possible. We want to put you in the best position to seize the moment and have a really great holiday season. Now, I'm going to have a little extended version for all of our Train Retail subscribers. Go over to trainretail.com, and there, for all of our subscribers and one-on-one clients, I will continue this video on with a little bit more information on how you can take some of the data I'm suggesting you go out and look for and seize the moment in your store by drilling into specific categories, giving you a little more specific guidance. For everyone else here on the YouTube channel, I'm not going to hold anything back. I will give you the keys to the kingdom, and I'm going to give you a strategy that works quite well. Let me start by saying this. I don't think that Christmas 2025 is going to be a bust. Even with economic uncertainty, and my gosh, if we hear the word tariff one more time, I think we're all going to explode, right? Even with all that happening, something out of left field could totally come in and throw everything up topsy-turvy in the world. But if that doesn't happen, I think this Christmas may not be the strongest Christmas for retail, but it won't be a total bust. Part of the reason is because a lot of businesses out there, a lot of importers are working really hard to mitigate some of the effects of tariffs or price increases, and they're actually not ineffective at doing so. They're doing a decent job. And political atmosphere, it's been waffling here and there. It seems as even with all this uncertainty, we won't have as dramatic of price increases. At least that's my hope. And even if we do, this strategy will help protect you a bit from that happening so that you can have price competitive pieces at full markup margins in your store ready for Christmas. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to run a sales report for the last 365 days. Bonus points if you want to take it over the last 2 years. It just takes a little bit more time and data if you choose to do that. When you run that report, I want you to have a list of all of the items you sold, the dates you sold them, and if you can, I want you to extrapolate how fast it was for them to sell. What I'm looking for is a number, 90 days, okay? When something came in and sold within 90 days or less. In the jewelry industry, fast sellers are par for the course for a successful jewelry business. You want to reorder your fast sellers because fastest selling merchandise, once it's brought back in, is almost certainly going to sell again with tremendous speed. And a lot of your profit will come from reordering and selling your fast selling merchandise. When we're looking at items that sold within 90 days, we're looking at the fastest selling merchandise in your store. Typically, the standard answer for fast selling merchandise is 6 months and less. But here I want to look at half that time, 3 months and less, 90 days. These are the fastest selling pieces of merchandise that come into your store, and as such, they have the greatest chance of sell-through again if brought back into your store, probably with tremendous speed. Now, here's a little side caveat. If you run a report for items that have sold 90 days and less, and you carry silver or watches, I want you to toss those categories to the side. Silver and watches should have a much higher rate of speed and sell-through. So if you're looking at that, there's a little different metric I would want you to use. And so for the purposes of this video, toss those categories to the side and look only at diamond merchandise with gold, platinum, color merchandise, and that sort of thing. Okay, back to that list of 90 days and less. Now that you've populated this list, I want you to go through all of those items that sold, and you're going to put them into basically one of two camps. Camp number one are special orders. Special orders get sold like this all the time, and they're easier to spot because they usually sell once they've arrived within 1 or 2 days. People come in and pick up their special order once they've been checked in and arrive. And maybe you even have an earmark in the system that says this was a special order. I want you to gather all those special orders, put them into a group, Don't toss them away. We're going to do something unique with them. For all of our subscribing train retail clients, there's a really cool exercise I'm going to give you that's going to utilize that group. But group number 2 is where we're going to hang out on this video for now. Group number 2 are all of the fast-selling asset pieces, the pieces you bought, sold, and sold quickly. If we bring these back into the store, they will likely sell again. And at Christmas time, because we're going to be selling so many more units, as traffic picks up and buying interest picks up, we will almost certainly sell these almost all out at Christmas time. Now, obviously, step number 1, once you've looked at this list, ask yourself, do I have all of these items in my store, or at least on order? That's step number 1. I want to make sure that you have every single one of those pieces on order or now in your store, marked out with a good margin on the showcase, looking beautiful. This is a spot check. We want to make sure that you have it out there, that it's ready to go, or at least will be very soon. But let's take this a little bit further. If you look at these fastest selling pieces of merchandise, I want you to consider ordering another one so that you have 2 on hand for the Christmas and holiday season. The reason being, the chances that you will sell one are tremendously high, almost a guarantee at Christmas time for most of these items. That means that if you sell one of those items during the holiday season, you will not have another one on hand to sell another person. You might sell 2 in that period of time because the buying interest will be so high. So I want you to be prepared. Have 2 on hand so that if one sells in November, you have another one ready to go, selling it in December. All right? With delivery times what they've been in the wholesale jewelry world, if you reorder a piece in November, chances are you may not see that piece until January, maybe even February. And I don't want you to be without it in your prime selling season. So having 2 on hand sets us up for success in that way. Of course, maybe you sell one and you don't sell the other. I'm not terribly worried about that because remember, in February we have Valentine's Day. And if we don't reorder quickly during the holiday season, we may not even have that fast seller arrive back on our store shelves for Valentine's. So maybe you sell one at Christmas, at least you'll have another ready for another prime jewelry selling season right around the corner. Worst case scenario is you order 2 of your fastest selling pieces of merchandise and neither of them sell. You still have the rest of the regular year to at least sell them through, and I very, very much doubt that that's going to happen. Experience has taught me that that situation is very, very rare. Of course, employing the strategy of ordering 2 of your fastest selling pieces now does a couple of extra beneficial things, hedging our bets going into holiday 2025. For one, we're locking in the price today of that item. Maybe these tariffs and economic uncertainty and inflation, it does take off and it does become a real pain in our necks and prices begin to soar. If I've bought that piece today, both of those pieces today, I've locked in today's price so that if it rises in the next few months, I'm not reordering it at a much higher price point. I've locked it in here. That means I'm going to hang on to prime merchandise at a lower price, and that's going to have a full market markup value to it. I'm not going to sacrifice anything there, and I'm going to have a competitive price throughout the selling season, all the way perhaps even till Valentine's Day. You'll be selling prime merchandise at a good margin, but a decent and fair price for less than the guy down the street. That is a fantastic place to. This is also a great time to make sure that you're balancing against all of these reorders. By adding onto a safer bet, by doubling up on these fast-selling pieces of merchandise, yes, we're increasing the invoice that we need to pay when it comes to be delivered. But if you're fortuitous and thoughtful, you're going to be balancing against that reorder. You're going to be sending back old pieces of merchandise as a trade to get the new and fast-selling pieces in. And because we're ordering a little bit more now in the fast-selling pieces, I can balance a little bit more now as well. I can get rid of a little bit old stock before the holiday season. And by getting rid of older stock before the holiday season, all I'm going to be showing in my cases is prime, new, fast-selling merchandise, which only increases the sell-through of all of these items you're getting. Talk about wins across the board. And of course, when you balance and you're balancing for prime merchandise that's going to sell through very well, well, it just lowers your money out of pocket to have to get it. This is a strategy that I hope you employ now in the months of August. At the latest, I hope that this project is done by September 15th so that you can get these products in and delivered in time to sell them in holiday season. Now, for our Train Retail subscribers, I'm going to take this video even further. I'm going to tell you what to do with that special order group that I talked about earlier, because there's a really cool project you can do to mine for fast sellers out of that group, as well as give you some other key insights into different categories going into Christmas that I don't want you to sleep on. This is the time to seize the moment, get that merchandise in, and make the most of it. Of course, if you would like that information or you want to learn more about how we can take a lot of this work off your plate, our team at Train Retail can actually go through your data and help take all the guesswork out of this and do this work for you and help you figure out what those prime pieces will be. If you'd like to learn more about all of that we do at Train Retail for the jewelry industry, go to trainretail.com. Of course, you can reach out to me, Kyle, at trainretail.com, or Jimmy at trainretail.com, and ask us how we can help you, and we would love to have that conversation. Until then, get to that report, go find some great merchandise to order. Good luck out there, and I will see you next time.